Welcome to the Inventor's Edge podcast, where insight meets innovation. Whether you're sketching your first idea or refining a finished product, you're in the right place. Our mission is to equip you with the tools, expertise, and clarity you need to succeed as an inventor, while helping you conquer fears and limiting beliefs that may be holding you back. I'm your host, Scott Putnam, founder and CEO of Inventor's Edge. Before becoming a seasoned product development coach, I was a wide-eyed inventor with a head full of ideas but no clear path forward. I know firsthand what it's like to feel stuck, uncertain, and overwhelmed. Fast forward to today, I'm a successful entrepreneur with multiple licensing deals and products on the market. I'm committed to helping inventors like you overcome obstacles, conquer fears, and transform your ideas into tangible success through proven, actionable, step-by-step strategies that deliver real results. Join us as we bring in industry pros, share expert advice, and dive deep into the world of innovation. Ready to turn your ideas into reality? Let's get started. Okay, I am over the moon excited for today's episode because we've got a true legend in the world of gadgets and innovation, Steve Greenberg. You may know Steve as the Gadget Guy from NBC's Today Show, or from his fun and fast-paced game show, What the Heck Is That?, which we played a few rounds of, and I can tell you it's really harder than you might think and a ton of fun. He has that on DBTV and YouTube. He's a 12-time Emmy award-winning reporter, author of the book Gadget Nation, and really a trusted voice in spotting the next big thing in tech and consumer products. In our conversation, Steve shares some golden insights for inventors and entrepreneurs, including what catches his eye about products, common mistakes to avoid, and really how to stand out in a crowded marketplace. So whether you're just starting out or you're already bringing products to market, this episode is packed with inspiration and practical advice. Let's jump in. Hey, Steve, welcome to the show.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me on, Scott. I appreciate it.
So glad to have you on. So excited to learn more about who you are and what you do and how you work. The Gadget Guy. It's such a great title.
I kind of fluctuate between Gadget Guy and Innovation Insider, so it depends what day of the week you catch me on, but both are my titles.
Nice. Good to have multiple titles. So I want to jump right in. I know you've been in this space for a long time, and we were talking before the show. I had no idea that you were a dentist also. We'll have to talk more about that. Went to Northwestern, phenomenal school. And then got into innovation and products. And over the years, you've seen thousands of products. And I was just curious, what separates a truly mind-blowing standout product from some invention that kind of gets lost in the noise?
Well, that's a great question. I think if anyone really, really knows the answer to that, they'd be a billionaire because, just because you see a great product doesn't mean it's going to make money. And just because you see a stupid product doesn't mean it's not going to make money. So making money and how valuable it is to our culture have no correlation. That being said, a really good gadget solves a problem. If it doesn't solve a problem, it probably isn't a really good gadget. At least that's my definition. That being said, I can never tell what's going to be a monster hit and what's not. I mean, I always point out I'm the first person to put the Ring video doorbell on television. And when I first saw it on a folding Costco table at some trade show, and I met Jamie, the inventor behind it, I was like, is this really what people are going to want? I don't know, but it looks interesting. So I put it on television, and then several years later, he sold the company for $1 billion. So You just don't know what's going to make it and what's not going to make it.
For sure. Yeah. It's really interesting you mentioned him. My daughter and I were on a show called Buy It Now on Amazon Prime Video doing a 90-second pitch. And he's kind of the main staple judge, so to speak, or panelist, and really, really good guy. But before we really get into more questions, can you tell me where you're from and just a little bit about yourself? I should have opened with that. I was so excited to get on with the questions here.
Yeah, that's okay. No, I grew up in New Jersey, Bergen County, North Jersey, many moons ago. I've pretty much lived in Miami and New York most of my adult life.
Hmm.
I worked in television in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. I worked in Miami for years. So that's where I got my TV chops. And I wrote a book called Gadget Nation, which did, I think, unexpectedly well. And I got a lot of buzz from that. I got on the Today Show as a guest. Lester Holt liked me and said, "We want to come back on and just show gadgets." I was like, yes. And so I did that for a number of years. And then it shifted from the weekend Today Show to Fourth Hour with Hoda and Kathy Lee. I did that through up till now. And I'm now Hoda and Kathy Lee are gone. Jenna is the full-time solo replacement, and I've done it with her as well. So that's given me a lot of exposure. Then also I have about 40 TV stations that have me do gadget segments. And then not too long ago, I created a gadget game show called What the Heck Is That? You can check it out at gadgetgameshow.com. And basically, I show a product. I have a bunch of various different panelists try to guess what it is. And if they don't guess what it is, there's a reveal at the end. Maybe Scott, you and I will play a round or two at the end of this. But yeah, I'm trying to grow that platform. And obviously, I'd like to grow it because it'd be fun for me to grow it. But also, I'd like to create another platform for inventors. They've got Shark Tank out there, which is a lovely venue to showcase a product. This is another venue that if we all grow it together, I mean, the inventor community, it'll be another platform where a brand new mom and pop garage invention can be showcased and
Hmm.
exposed to the public, have some fun with it, and hopefully generate some sales for that company. So it'd be nice to make What the Heck Is That another platform to showcase new products, and that's what I'm working on.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that. I watched some of your videos for that. It looks like a really fun game for people to play. And I was really thinking, I'm gonna nail some of these. And I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, what the heck is that really on?
They're really tough, and I can tell you, very few people have gone to more product trade shows than I have. I mean, I'm like the king of going to these trade shows. I went to two this week, in fact. I really go to a lot of trade shows, so I see a lot of products, and I'm constantly stumped. I mean, I see new products all the time, and I look at them, and I'm like, I can't even imagine what it is until someone tells me what it is. So that's what was the seed behind this game show. What the heck is that?
Yeah. Do you get a lot of your ideas from trade shows?
Oh, a ton of them. I see a lot of great products. I picked up a couple of products yesterday, literally, that will filter their way into the game show eventually. So I'm always looking for, it can't be something like, this, because everybody looks at this and they know, oh, that's a fan. So this wouldn't qualify. It has to be something where you look at the product and you're like, what is it? So if it has a little air of mystery to it, it isn't obvious what it does, then it's a potential participant in What the Heck Is That?
That's really that's really interesting. You must get people submitting ideas to you as well. Like, hey, I have a weird thing and can I get it
Oh
out?
yeah, yeah. I a lot of especially inventors who reach out to me wanting me to promote their product, and if it fits, I kind of have a stack of getting to them. So yeah, I mean, most of the products I do either I found them at a trade show or someone pitched them to me, one or the other.
Yeah, that's really cool. I was thinking about the swat and scoop, which is the swatter with a built-in scoop, but immediately you look at it, it's some kind of swatter with an extra
Yeah,
something.
that's the problem. So a whole bunch of gadgets, which are great gadgets, just don't fit this platform because it really needs to be something where you look at it and you don't know what it really is for.
Yeah. Yeah,
We'll we'll play with this one later. So that's
okay.
that's the kind of difference there.
Nice. That's awesome. So for inventors, our audience is inventors of all shapes and sizes. And I was curious for the ones that really dream of seeing their product featured on a national TV show, maybe like yours, what makes a product TV ready? What should they focus on to catch your eye as a product scout? And maybe this is outside, what the heck is that? But just kind of in general.
Yeah, well, I mean, generally there's a theme of each gadget segment as opposed to the game show. So it's dads or grads, back to school, holiday gift ideas under $30. There's some kind of theme that the producers have come up with that I gotta have to find things that fit that. The other issue is the product can't be very, very expensive because they don't like that anymore.
Hmm.
And it has to be something that you can buy right now. It can't be in Kickstarter, it has to be something that's available right this moment. You
Mhm.
have to be able to fill the orders. Otherwise, it's embarrassing for the show. And
Sure.
I think a lot of it is, again, I think really it has to solve a problem and people haven't seen it before. So I think those are kind of and a lot of it is just, it's just what looks good. If it's fun or funny,
Mhm.
that helps a lot. Everybody wants a good chuckle. I saw a product yesterday from Charmin called Forever toilet paper, and I can see that easily showing up in one of my segments because it's got a little fun to it and funny. So that helps also.
Forever toilet paper. I just imagine some kind of reusable toilet paper, which is probably
No,
not the direction they're going.
massive roll. It's a huge roll. They have a special thing that sits next to the toilet so it can hold a big roll. And it's really simple, but the roll is, without exaggerating, about that big. It's still narrow, still like a regular toilet paper size. And
Yeah,
you don't have to go buy as much toilet paper. You got this thing, and it is kind of, it's got some chuckle built into it.
for
I
sure.
would I would definitely show it on television.
I would use that.
Me
With
too.
three,
Me
three
too.
women, and I don't. We go through a lot of toilet paper. I'll say that. I could see something 3 or 4 feet across, just takes up half the wall.
So they have it on a stand that comes up like this. It would sit next to, and then the roll is this massive thing. But it actually does work. It will fit most bathrooms.
Wow,
And it's pretty funny. And they had it promoted really well as a trade show. So
that's
we'll see.
fun. Love that. Love the new innovative, crazy stuff. And it creates a buzz, right? It becomes a story that you tell. Hey, did you see this crazy thing or this incredible thing? And I
So
know.
that helps. I mean, it really needs to, like, not be boring, and it has to solve a problem that people want solved. I mean, if it's very nichey, your product solves a problem for a very small group of people, then it probably isn't going to make a Today Show segment. It has to be something that's really got broad appeal. If it doesn't have, almost, 95% kind of appeal, it may not make it.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Somebody that's into some kind of really esoteric bug or something that's only found in Madagascar in June and it's the migrate, like, yeah, no.
Or
Aunt
it's,
Susie's not gonna be into that.
very specific thing. People who want to carry a nail clipper when they did. I mean, I've seen some really strange things.
Hmm.
Who really needs that? Why am I gonna? How's that gonna fit anything? Why is that a good gift for a dad? It's got to really make sense.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. And you've worked with a lot of first-time entrepreneurs, inventors. What are some of the common mistakes that you see people make when they're trying to launch or even just showcasing their products?
Well, usually my experience is that it takes about 8 years from got the idea, we're gonna do this, to you actually get it into the marketplace. So there's like this long 8-year process. And what happens during that 8-year process is there's a lot of spending of money, and which is all understandable. But the real problem is when the product is finished, the spending really needs to begin then, because
Mm.
you need to buy Facebook time or ad time or whatnot. And to promote the product, if you're out of money at that point, you're in trouble. So you need to, budget it or get investors on board or whatnot, so that once the product is out, you have the capital to get the word out. And I think a lot of inventors think only as far as, okay, I got the product onto a website, or I got the product maybe even into a store. But, what am I going to do? That's really your job starts then. It isn't like you just hand it over
Hmm.
and done, unless it's a licensing deal. It's your job to promote that puppy. And if you don't have the funds to do it, that's a problem.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and me included in the beginning, maybe it's because I live 20 miles from the field of dreams, but if I build it, they will just come.
It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. I mean, even with Gadget Nation, when I wrote the book, which is sort of like my invention, I wrote the book, I finished the book, I gave it, Sterling Publisher, they put it in Barnes and Noble. I thought I was done, just wait for the checks to come in. No, I had to go run around the country yakking on TV shows to sell that book. And every time I made an appearance, I sold some copies, and I had to keep doing that, to generate some buzz, and that was kind of pre-social media. And it was hard work. I mean, it meant flying around and being best friends with American Airlines, and it was difficult. So no, the work begins. You think the work is leading up to it, and that is a lot of work. But once you've hit the marketplace, the work really begins then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think and I tell people this all the time. The minute you let off on the throttle, it's kind of like you're applying the brakes. There isn't a long roll,
Yeah,
that
no.
with that momentum.
And we live in a really, really, really noisy world.
Yeah.
And to be heard, you really have to scream loudly. I mean, it's just so much clutter out there, so much chatter, so much yakking about everything else in the world, that for your little product to blow up, you need to make a lot of noise. And without that noise, not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. How about when people are showcasing their products? What are some mistakes they make? Let's say they do get on a Today Show or even a smaller local news station or something.
Well, first, that's a great point in that, everybody wants to get on the Today Show. And I get that. That's great exposure. But honestly, you need to go on a bunch of tiny shows, make a bunch of mistakes, see what works, what doesn't work, what demo works, what demo doesn't work, to really hone the message. And even if you're handing it to me and I'm a professional at it, I still need to have your talking points down to what are the 3 things that really push this thing forward. Because you only get, when I have a product on the Today Show, I get maybe 20, 30 seconds tops on a product. And probably less. It's a headline service. So I need to have this is the first, the only, the award-winning, blank, boom, and next. I have to make it really short, really sweet. If there's an easy demo with it, or if there's a way of jury rigging a demo to make it, so that we can do a demo, because maybe in real time it takes 40 seconds for whatever is to happen. We don't have 40 seconds. So is there a way of making a TV version of it that goes up faster, or shoot it on tape and speed it up? Or it all has to be working really well for TV. And I think you have to really hone that. I can't tell you how many times, Scott, I get an email from an inventor and I click on it and I'm reading, and I've got this far in, I still don't even know what the product is. The email is this long, and the product starts coming in at the end. I hear about their mother-in-law and why she had this problem, blah, 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 blah. No, you got to be an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
You got 50 seconds of my time. And if you can't tell me what makes this great in 50 seconds, this is not a product you want to invest in. If it's so complicated, if the backstory is so out of control, then you know what? You got to find some other way to make money, because it's not going to work. It's got to be boom. You got to tell me what it is, and I got to go, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's got to be that fast. And 50 seconds is, I'm exaggerating. You should be able to do it in 20 seconds, but I'm going to give you 50 just as people send me videos. The first thing I look at is how long is the video? If that video, 7.5 minutes long, what are you sending me this for? I mean, I'm not going to sit and watch your video for 7.5 minutes. I can't do that. It's not that I'm mean or whatnot. It's just, there's so many of those people out there, and I can't spend 7 minutes. I usually speed ahead, try to get to the end to see what the heck it is, because usually the first 2 minutes, they're just talking. I also love they shoot the video that they send me, and it's all on them. The product's down on the table, but they're shooting here. It's like, I don't want to see you. I saw you. Okay, now, boom, put the camera down. What are we talking? Show me the product.
Yeah, show me the goods. Don't start at the birth of Christ and work up from there to eventually get to the product.
And how your mother-in-law was against it, and your brother-in-law, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care. What does it do? What problem does it solve? Why is it different than, why can't I just use this instead? Why is this better than that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's such a good point, because we have the attention span. I think it's now less than a goldfish, according to actual studies. And social media, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but people's brains have been reprogrammed to even you watch movies and shows, Old-fashioned movies, it'd be like a 5-minute slow pan on somebody's face. Now, forget it. You got to, yeah, get to the magic.
I'm doing television for 10,000 years. I like to count, and it's a pain to go to the movies with you. I count how long it is between edits. So I'm like one. Usually it's 1, 2, 1, 2. That's how quickly edit, 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 edit. Occasionally there'll be the opposite where they'll do a one shot where it's like a moving shot, like it's walking through the bakery, like the bear will,
Mhm.
start on the outside and the product comes in and you watch it come in and it goes past all these people and and you see it go all the way into the kitchen and it's all one big shot, which I'm always like, whoa, I love those. But
Yeah.
generally, if you watch television, it's 1, 2, change, 1, 2, change, 1, 2, change,
Yeah.
1, 2, change. Because that's how, edits, you can't, sit on something.
Yeah, it's like a strobe light. Like, and I've seen shows that are even faster. I think it's like about 1 second. I'm like, I have to stop watching this. My
Yeah.
brain.
Well, like MTV-ish music videos, if people still watch music videos, those used to be very, 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 very fast.
Yeah, for sure. So moving along, I want to talk about what the heck is that? So your show, what a fun and creative format you have. Amazing. While we're talking about storytelling, how important is storytelling and presentation and selling a product, especially because is there some balance between, hey, get to the magic, here's what it is, it solves a problem, it's awesome, new, innovative, and here's the story behind it. How do you kind of
Well, Gadget Nation was all about the story behind it. That was, you met the people in this. I wrote it so that you would meet who they are, you'd learn who they are. He's a plumber, she's an electrician, whatever their backstory is. Then the problem they came up to in their real lives, and then how they came up with the solution, and then how they tried to market it, and then ultimately, did it make money or didn't make money at the time of publishing? So that was really all about the story as much as the product. And I always found that, really interesting because, and I'll tell you a side note and I'll get back to your question, I promise.
Yeah, yeah.
So my book came out and I would get these emails from people who had read the book and some would say, whoa, that was so great. You've inspired me. I had this idea. I'm now going to go, put everything we got into this and make it happen. Then I get another email from somebody else. Whoa, what a cautionary tale. I had this great idea, but now after reading your book, I'm scared to move forward. I see. So the same group of words inspired some to go on and invent, and the same group of words took other people and put the brakes on them. So it's more about what's in here than what's on the page. And you bring your own. The story, you think the story is saying one thing, but how people interpret it is a very different experience. So that was my side take on that. But going back to what you were asking me, is that the game show is really about the product. I mean, at the end, I'll reveal it's a mother-daughter invented and blah, blah, blah. But then I give the reveal of the product. But really, it's about just looking at the physicality of the product and kind of reverse engineering and try to figure out what problem does this solve. And I never show a decorative product or something that's silly. It's always solving a real, or it has a real function to it. And I think that is what the show is about. And a lot of it is using your engineering brain to reverse engineer it to think, what problem could this possibly be solving? And it's also fun to see what people come up with, which is, of course, very interesting, different. Sometimes they do guess it. A lot of times they don't. And of course, at the end, there's a reveal where you, the viewer, learn what the heck that is. I should point out that when I first started doing the show, I did it on Zoom, sort of like we're doing this right now, where we were in boxes like the Brady Bunch, and I'd have 4 panelists and me and the product, and I did that for about 50 episodes or so, and I had some celebrity guests, which was great because you can do them on Zoom. But then I found I want to do it in the real world, so I took the products to trade shows. I took them on vacation. I took them to different parts of the world so I could have drag queens or people at the pool or whoever I could find to try and guess what it is, just to get funny different answers. So the story is more about like where I am and here's the product and here's what these people are trying to figure it out what it is. And again, at the end it's revealed. And the show used to be like about 12 minutes long. Now they're closer to 3.5 minutes long because that's what people want. And I take, people put comments down there and I listen to their suggestions. Someone said they need to see the product more. So now I've added more shots of the product in the segment and whatnot. So if you watch episode 1 and then you watch episode 103, you'll see the show's changed a little bit, but basically the concepts never changed. Here's a mystery gadget. Guess what it is? And here's the answer.
Nice. Love that. I think that's such great advice to use the feedback you're getting from people to adapt and change your approach, even to change the way you're shooting shots and the way you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I listen to, if you write a comment, I'm there. I'm not saying I'm going to do everything that people say, but I certainly will listen and consider it. And it's no different than the new invention. You have an invention, you come out with a prototype and then you look at what works and what doesn't work about that prototype. And then you make changes accordingly to make the product better. I feel it's the same thing with the game show. And of course, because it's a episodic thing, I can keep tweaking it along the way to try to make it hopefully better. And again, I want to impress to inventors, I'm doing this for all of us. I mean, obviously I'm doing it for myself too, but if we can make this a successful platform, it's one more place where inventors can show their products. So please watch it, share, like. There's a little bell, hit that little bell. So when I post another episode, you're notified. All that, helps to spread this because, the algorithm depends on more and more people looking at it, and then they share it with more and more people. Help me help you. So become a supporter of the game show, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. You don't have to suffer through it. And, your friends will then get exposed to it, etc. Check out. And it's easy way to go to it is just go to gadgetgameshow.com. You click on the little icon there. It takes you right to the YouTube link. And then you can watch some episodes, click on that little bell, hopefully like, share, and subscribe, all of that. And subscribe, there's nothing costs. It's all free. So won't cost you.
I love it. And we'll have all this detail on our platforms and everything so people can just click and get right to things. I had one more question for you, and then we can talk about the game and maybe play it a little bit here.
Sure.
Creating buzz is always such a big thing. So what advice would you give to inventors looking to create a buzz, to build buzz and credibility for their product, especially if they're kind of starting out, they have a tight budget, they don't have a lot of ad dollars? How do you create a buzz and credibility?
I think the first thing you should do is look in your own backyard. So if you're in Fargo, North Dakota, or you're in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, you've got a bunch of TV stations, a newspaper, a community newspaper, you've got a CW channel, you've got an ABC channel. You need to knock on those doors and say, look, I'm local. I'm a firefighter here in town, and I've come up with this gadget, and I really want to talk about it. Is there any way we can do it on and watch those shows? So that at 10 o'clock in the morning, they have a talk show that does that kind of thing. I mean, you don't want to pitch it to the sports show because they're not going to do that. But if you see they have a talk show, say, okay, Deborah's talk show at 10 o'clock would be a perfect spot for it. So you go and look at the credits at the end, find the executive producer and the producer, reach out to them, make friends with them on LinkedIn and say, hey, look, I live in your viewership. I'm a firefighter, I'm a teacher, I'm a lawyer, I'm a dentist, I'm whatever I am, and I came up with this great invention. It's really terrific. It's on sale now. Can we please talk about it on your show? And they're looking for content. And the fact that you're local, so you bring in your product, you'll sit on the set, you'll talk about it, then you can watch it, decide what you did right and wrong about it. But again, know that elevator pitch. Whether you're writing that email on LinkedIn or whatever, keep it short and sweet. Get right to the point. Say who you are. Give I'm a mother of 3. I'm a firefighter. Whatever you are, boom. Then give right to here's what I came up with. Here's what I'm selling. I would love to do a segment on your show. Can we make that happen? And see if you get some. And you've got a bunch of stations, a bunch of newspapers. Hit them all up. That's where you start getting the buzz. And then once you have that clip, you can use that clip to push it to the next size market, and you can work your way up the ladder to get to yourself to a point where you're on the Today Show or whatnot.
Does it normally go in that fashion, or do people sometimes go right to the Today Show? And I know
Well, it happens. Some people do that, and sometimes it works. Sometimes you go right to the Today Show, and whether you get on the show or just the product gets on the show, or like you pitch it to me and I bring it on the show. I mean, that can all happen, but it's still best, I think, so that you get your talking points down, that you get, you get the experience of doing it, is to do it yourself locally and then go national.
Yeah, great advice. That's awesome.
And even as a reporter, I worked in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre for a number of years, and then I moved to Miami. I made a lot of mistakes in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. By the time I moved to a much bigger TV market in Miami, I'd learned a lot. And I think by the time I moved to do things on the Today Show, I'd learned even more. So I think it's, you can skip right to the head of the class, but it sometimes doesn't help you out, because then you make your big mistakes on a big platform. May not be the best way to go.
Yeah, earn your stripes, get your chops down, make those mistakes early on, get it more polished. And that's great advice no matter what you're doing, even if you're pitching a product for licensing or whatever. Get some practice, get some feedback, get new iterations of things. It's all just sharpening your blade, right? And that's something, we're all evolving and we're all getting better and better. And that's the point of it, I think.
And you kind of think in the beginning, like, oh, you already know it all, but you don't know how much you don't know until you see what there is to know.
Yeah.
And there's such a big difference between doing the segment live versus doing the segment taped versus, there's so many there's actually different skill sets for each one of those things.
Yeah.
A lot of it just is to take your product on the road and do that. And then, of course, start sending it out to, expand, then go to Seattle, there's so many talk shows in America, and they're all looking for content. And, there's a lot, and it doesn't really cost you anything except maybe the cost of getting there sometimes.
It's about awareness with any product. I have a lot of inventors who think, I'll have it made, I'll put it on Amazon, and people will just find it. It's a drop of water in the ocean of products. So it is about awareness and getting
it's a noisy world, and it's very hard to get heard in this current world that we're in.
For sure. Yeah. Well, with that in mind, should we play a round or two?
I think we should. So I've kind of teased this one. So Scott, take a good look. Let me show you and the folks at home. It's got an opening there. It's got a little opening there. It's sealed there. There's blue tape on it because I'm just hiding the name of it. The name that gives it away. But this is what it looks like. And so, Scott, what the heck is that?
And I get to ask some questions?
Sure. There's no rules as far as I know.
Okay. All right. Let me fire a couple questions out. Is this something that would be used typically at a specific time of day?
No, I would say it could happen, the use of this anytime during the day, morning, night, afternoon, anytime.
Okay. Is this a product that would be marketed toward a specific gender?
Nope. Men or women have this problem and that this solves.
Okay.
And I'd say even children and adults.
Okay. Is it some kind of cleaning device?
Not a cleaning device, but an excellent guess. Excellent guess. And I have good questioning too. You've narrowed it down a lot.
Okay.
It's a tough one. I gave you a tough one to start off. I'll make the next one easier.
Okay. So if I had to guess, well, can I throw one more question? Is that the whole product, or are there other accessories that attach?
This is the whole product. Nothing attaches to it. It does come in a carrying case, which I'm not showing you, but there's a little case but that doesn't change the function at all. But this is it completely. There's no batteries. This is it totally. I'll give you a hint if you don't have an answer. Here's your hint. It's somewhat medical.
I was going to ask. It feels like something, because of the color, that would be something to do with your mouth, or I keep thinking like a little suction thing or a vacuum. What's the opening for?
Little opening here. Do we throw the cards over and just give it away?
Let me give one shot. Is it something
Sure.
to do with applying some kind of a bandage or applying something medical?
No, it is. It has a, there's definitely, it's invented by a doctor.
Okay. Man, I'm going to throw in the
It's a
cards.
tough one. Okay, I'm going to show you the packaging for it. It's called Hickaway, and this stops hiccups, believe it or not. And actually works. I've used it. You put this into a little glass of water, and then you kind of suck on it like a straw. And because the little hole here is so small and the hole up here is so big, it creates like a tension, and that somehow shifts something that stops your hiccups. And it really does work. Again, it's called Hickaway. I actually got an email from Damon Johns just earlier today because he had seen me talk about this and he wanted to get the contact information from this product. So I was like, oh yeah, sure. So, because he has that problem, I understand. So it's, again, what happens once in a while or occasionally. Again, it's called Hickaway. If you go to Hickaway. Where is it? It's the Grommet used to have it. I don't know if they still do or not. It's also at Hickaway.com, and it's under $15.
Okay.
Okay, so this next one
That's
I'm
great.
hoping is a little easier. Take a good look at it. This one I think you're going to get quickly. Okay, take a good look at it. It's got all this stuff inside. It's got this little metal handle that comes up and goes down. Got a hole in it. It's got something like that. Okay, Scott, what the heck is this?
Man, let me throw some questions at you.
Sure, go for it.
And I know for our listeners, they're probably like, well, I can't even imagine what we're talking about here. So go to YouTube and you can actually see the product, Inventor's Edge on YouTube. The flip up thing is interesting. It makes me think there's an attachment or maybe that's to carry it. Is this something that you would use while you're traveling?
I guess you could, but I wouldn't call it a travel product at all. You might more than likely use it in your home. You might use it in your backyard, depending on the situation.
Yeah. Is this something that would be out on display, connected to something, or put away in a drawer or a cupboard until you needed it?
I would say put in a drawer until you need it.
Okay.
When you need it, you take it out, and when you're finished, you put it back.
Got it. Does it have anything to do with light or something that would be lit up?
Nope, nothing to do with light. Do you want a hint?
Sure. I feel like I should be nailing this, and I'm like,
no, they're hard. They're hard. And once you see, and sometimes once I tell you, it's like, oh yeah. Like the other one was, I think, impossible. This one, once I tell you, you'll be like, oh yeah. Okay, this is something you would use, I would say, during a party, probably.
Is it a holder of some kind?
Not a holder necessarily, no.
Is it have anything to do with
something does?
Is it something to do with, like, does it go on top of a beer bottle or some kind of a beverage?
Very warm. You're 2 steps from getting it. That you're definitely there. You're definitely.
Okay. Is it something to kind of protect a drink or something? Nope.
Nope. Go back to the bottle.
Yeah. Is it a bottle opener of some kind?
It is. But what kind of bottle?
Okay, I could see wine bottle maybe because of some of the mechanics, but
kinda, but I wouldn't go wine bottle and this is an important part of it. This thing right here.
That's like a block to block the champagne cork that would
bing, 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 bing. We got. This is called Sham Pop. It's from a company called dreamfarm.com. I love. It's about $10 or so. So this lets you open a wine bottle up, a champagne bottle or Prosecco or and then if you leave the little thing down, it lets you have that dramatic outdoor popping the bottle. But if you're indoors and you don't want to hurt anybody, you flip this up and then the cork stays inside the device. So it's called Sham Pop. Really a great little product. It does make opening a champagne bottle super easy. That's what all this thread work inside is all about. That I was kind of shocked.
I was trying to figure out the thread work. It's like, it looks kind of like shaped like it would go over a bottle of some kind.
Like I said, if you keep this, if actually go to dreamfarm.com, they kind of demo it there very nicely, but you can see it without this little metal thing up. The bottle, very dramatic.
Shoot it over the fence.
Right, exactly. That's why I said backyard or in the house. And in the house, When you don't want to cause damage or hurt anybody or poke an eye out, you put this thing back up there.
Nice.
That's Sham Pop.
Love
Okay.
that.
You want another one?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do one more.
Okay, one more. One of my favorites. I show this one a lot, but it always gives me a giggle.
Is that like a fireman or a little dude in a suit?
Yeah, it looks like a little guy. He's carrying
something like a little mandolin.
Violin case or something.
He's smoking a cigar, big glasses, and a hat.
Yep, he looks like a little. Tim, I always say and there's a little, let me show the mechanics. There's this down here at the bottom. There's a hole here on the top of his hat. He looks a little menacing. I always think he looks like, he's not, I'll tell you what he's not. It's not a Danny DeVito pencil sharpener. It has a little of a Danny DeVito quality to it. And maybe his people should contact this company and start litigation.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's got a little looseness to it. Something a little rattling inside there. I'm not gonna tell you this is easy, but it's very clever.
Yeah. Can I see the bottom again?
Sure. And I can tell you, I don't even understand exactly how it works. When I tell you what it does, I'm like, how does it do it? I don't even know, but it does work. I've used it. Almost every product I show, I've used.
Yeah. Does this have anything to do with food?
Yes. Wow, your first question. Bing, bing, bing. It absolutely is used in the kitchen with food. Very good. Ooh, out of nowhere, Scott pulls that out.
Okay, I don't know where that came from, but I'm trying to think. It seems like you put something in through the top and it does something and it comes out the bottom.
No, not really. But, I mean, those two. These two are the working ends, but not in the way you think. So no, you don't put anything in it or out it.
Yeah.
And of course, he is made to look this way for some reason, which is related to its function. I mean, that's the funnier part of it. Why they made him look like this, like that.
Yeah. I was thinking some kind of nut chopper or something, but I'm thinking that's probably not it, or a cutter. What the heck did
It's a hard one.
Yeah. Is it something where the food goes inside it somehow?
No, in a way, he goes inside the food, sort of.
Okay. That's a big hint there. What kind of food would some menacing guy carrying a violin, smoking a cigar go into?
And I have to say, I mean, I don't make this product, so all I can say is, I don't know how politically correct this is. I'm sure there are groups that will say this is not right, but the fact that he looks the way he looks is a hint as to what food item he works on.
Seems like meat or hot dogs or something, or a steak. No. Okay.
Throw the cards over?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, so what he's made to look like, I guess, because of the violin case and the menacing cigar and the hat, I think they want him to be a mafia character. And I guess mafias, and again, this is not me saying this, is just I'm playing along too, is connected to the Italian American community. And Italian Americans are very connected to pasta. And this is called al dente. That's his name, al dente. And he is a singing, floating pasta timer. The way it works, you take this little guy and when you're boiling up your pasta and the pasta in there, you drop al into the boiling mix. And then he sings various different Italian songs, or plays the song, like The Godfather, do-do-do-do-do, and at different times, which you have on a little piece of paper. So when he's singing The Godfather, you've been in it 3 minutes. When he's singing A Sole Mio, he's been in there 8 minutes or whatnot. So it gives you an idea of how long you've been boiling your pasta and when it's time to take, depending on the kind of pasta, if it's angel hair or lasagna, when you want to take it out based on what song he's gotten up to. So it's from a company, brainstream.us. He's about $25. He does work. I've put him in boiling water and he does just fine.
Wow.
Also, it looks like, his feet are in a block. So it's like, maybe a mob hit. You're dropping him in the boiling water. It's like dropping him in the ocean or something. I don't really know. And again, I don't know how politically correct any of that is. But called al dente, and it's dreamstream.us, about $25.
Nice. It looks
You
like,
did very well because these were hard ones. I'm gonna say, and the game is usually hard. My job is to try and stump the panelists.
yeah. I kept getting visions of pasta noodles going in the top, but then you said it doesn't really go in it. And I'm like,
It
okay.
does, and what's also amazing, there's no batteries or anything. Just the heat of the water is enough to
Really?
trigger the music to come out of him. And I guess the sound is working its way through his hat, and he's kind of bobbing around, floating the boiling water.
Wow.
With the noodles all around him. One of my favorites, though. I think it's a smart.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who thinks of this stuff, right? Welcome to humanity, where we come up with amazing ideas.
Well, your audience, I mean, that's what the world of Inventors does. It's like,
Yeah.
how can I add to this mix? How can I solve a problem and do it in a way that's kind of ingenious? And this is,
That's
a clever
cool.
awesome time. It's a great company. They have a whole bunch of products in that.
Nice. Really, really cool. So what?
Inventors support. What the heck is that? Again, go to gadgetgameshow.com, click on the red bar, go check out a bunch of episodes, like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell so when I load up another episode of What the Heck Is That, you're notified. We've got some great ones coming in from Spain. I went to Spain and did a few episodes there. So those will be local. And I was at the Pitch the Pros, which is an Inventor thing in Greenville, South Carolina. And I did 2 episodes up on the stage with the influencers up there. And those 2 episodes are going to be one of them is going to go up later this week. So check out What the Heck Is That? Gadgetgameshow.com.
Love that. Great pitch, man. Any final thoughts for Inventor's Edge listeners?
I kind of always feel like inventors need to, work together. So many, everybody's in a different place in that progression of success. And the ones that are further along need to help the ones that are in the beginning. I don't see enough of that in the inventor community. I'd like to see more of it. I was on the board of the UIA for a number of years. And, that's really what it's supposed to be encouraging, that inventors that know what's going on teach the inventors that are just learning, because it's the kind of thing you don't learn in school. Your parents don't teach you. Your brother-in-law doesn't know about it. And the only way you're going to learn is from another inventor. So I'd like to see more camaraderie between inventors. Again, the idea of the game show is to create a platform so that new products have a place to greet an audience. And so if you support the game show and you support each other, that would be a really good thing. So that would be my thoughts heading off of this.
That's perfect. I agree 100%. We're all in this together. Don't be a lone wolf. Come together, find your pack, find your people. How can people get in touch with you?
Easy. Going back to, if you go to gadgetgameshow.com, literally, if you go to the top of that landing page, there's a connect with Steve. You click on it. You're right. You're talking to me right there. And then
Nice.
That would be probably the best way to reach me. I also have a website called stevegreenberg.tv. You can connect to me that way as well. It's easy to find me, and I'm all over, Facebook and Instagram and all those things as well. Between those 2 sites, you can definitely reach out to me, and also all my Facebook pages and all that stuff are all in there as well.
You're out there. That's great.
No hiding from me, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can run, but you can't hide. And we'll love to get you back on another episode if you're up for it sometime.
Absolutely, I'd love to, Scott. It's great visiting with you, and always fun. And hi to everybody out there. And hopefully we'll do this again soon. And check out the game show, please.
Sounds great. Many thanks, Steve Greenberg, the Gadget Guy. It was an honor having you on. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to the Inventor's Edge podcast. I'm your host, Scott Putnam, and if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a review, and please share it with fellow inventors. Your next breakthrough could be just around the corner. For more tools, tips, and resources, visit us at inventors-edge.com. Until next time, invent with purpose, innovate with passion, and bring your ideas to life.